Alright then, good morning. In this short video, I'm going to do the water pump on the Capri. Going to go to a car meet first, have a quick look around. I'm going to get the engine warm, have some breakfast, and then have a go at cracking off the 3 10mm bolts that hold it on. I've already done that a little bit and they do move because I was worried I was going to snap them. But I just feel like it's probably better trying again on a warmer engine with lots of penetrating oil. So let's get down to the meet. Check it out, Sierra GT. Never seen one of these. Getting a bit of an 80s car park going on here. Like the sunbeam. If you're going to do this job, I suggest you'll at least need a 10mm spanner. If you want a 10mm socket, you might want a 6mm socket for those hose clamps. You're going to need 2 13mm spanners, and then that's for your alternator. You're going to need some of this so you don't strip them heads on those 10mm bolts. You're going to need a stellar knife for cleaning up the gasket, a little bit of instant gasket and thread lock, and if you've got a ratchet, all the better. Oh yeah, and some gloves. Okay, so we're going to replace this water pump. So we're going to follow this step by step. It's pretty simple, and just start off with the pulley bolts and yeah, push the alternator back, and then I can get the 10mm bolts for the water pump. But I'm going to soak them down a little bit before I start trying to crack them off, and maybe have a cup of tea while I wait for it to work. Okay, so these are the 3 pulley bolts. Just get them soaked down, so I'm just going to try and get them off and hold this belt so that it doesn't move. Alright, so they're just finger tight now. Came off pretty easily. I've also put a tray on the floor so I can find them for when they do come off. I guess the next thing I'm going to have to do is undo this. It's probably a 13mm. Slide the alternator back and then I can get at it. I haven't drained the coolant yet. I know I should have done that first, but I just want to make sure this all works out first. I'm also trying to remove the coil, just give me a bit more room, but that's proving a bit tricky, so it might end up staying in its place. But yeah, let's crack on. There's washers under these screws as well. Gotta go get my magnetic plate so I can keep all these in one place. Okay, so the next job is these 2 13mm bolts on the alternator, and I kind of want to, that's the tension that's on it at the moment, because it's like 1/2 inch travel, so I need to get back to that when it's put back. Once this is off and the pulley's off and those bolts come off, I'm going to drain the coolant. You might not be able to see, but I just put a Sharpie marker on the bracket, so I kind of know whereabouts it was, although I'll do it a bit differently anyway later on. But yeah, just going to push this back now and get the fan bolt off. Alright, change of plan, taking off the bracket bolt instead of the alternator. Seems to be what it says to do in the manual, so I'm going to try it this way. Even though it's a bit of a given, I don't know why the Haynes doesn't mention it, but yeah, you've got to do the bottom 2 13mm bolts slightly, just so you can ease this forward. He says. Just did it before. And that'll give you enough clearance to get this off, which should do. too. And 3. So is it just going to pull off? No, not one bit. Oh no, there we go, it's coming. There's the pulley. Alright, so as you can see, the top bolt of the water pump and the bottom one started coming away nice and easy. Also is the back one, but I don't think that's to come all the way out. So I'm going to start draining the system now. As you know, this is going to come off. Also need to try and undo that little hose there. But yeah, hopefully it will run out. I'm going to drain it via the bottom hose and yeah, crack on. Alright, so I've just got a, I think it was a 7mm on this bottom radiator hose. So it's going to make a lot of mess. Okay, so this is the first of the bottom radiator bolt, bottom water pump bolts even. There we go. Nice and simple. So once you've got it going, it looks like you can just get them out. They're only finger tight after that. Now, I did use this spanner rather than a socket just so I could feel how, you know, if anything was going to snap or anything. Seemed a bit better this way. There we go. So for that third bolt, which is here, what seems quite interesting is it's not a full bolt hole, so I don't know if I've just, now I've taken these two out, if I can just pull it off now, I don't know. Somebody said it was connected to something else, and in here, obviously it mentions the 3 bolts, that being that one. I think it holds the timing cover on as well. So if I don't have to disturb it too much, I won't, because obviously this just slots in. But yeah, let me see what I can do. Okay, so I've just been fiddling with it and it does look like it is a screw in a hole, unlike the new one. So it should just come out. I'll put this one back here in case it's different. Alright, so I've let that drain nicely now, and I've also undone these a little bit, so hopefully I can start pulling it off. It is only on by this hose now. Seems alright actually. Oh well, it was leaking anyway. Alright, so this is both old and new together. There probably wasn't too much up with this, although I could hear a bearing noise when it was going round, but it was just mainly leaking, so maybe it was just the gasket that had gone. Either way, we're going to fit this new one because it seems a bit silly just to put the gasket on now. So So I cleaned up the main surfaces. Well, nearly. I can see a little bit more there, but I'm just going to get that off and then going to have something to eat and then come back and fit the new pump. Alright, so here's the new pump, here's the new gasket. Might try fitting the pulley to it, I don't know. No, I'm going to leave the pulley off. But yeah, I'm going to put a bit of instant gasket on it, because it says to do that on the manual, just on both sides. Put 2 bolts through it, put some thread lock on, and put it back. Okay, so it's all on now. I didn't torque up the bolts because they're only to 5 pounds anyway, so can't really do that. Just tightened up the little hose down there. Hopefully it's not going to leak. I could have done with a replacement really. So what I'm going to do is going to put the pulley on, put the alternator back, put the belt on up to tension, go have a cup of tea so this can dry, and then fill it back up with water. Oh yeah, and connect all these wires that I have pulled off so I can get access. Oh yeah, and tighten the coil. It's all back together now, so I'm just going to give it a little bit longer and then put some antifreeze and water in, the right mixture, and then yeah, kick it up, see what happens. So far so good. Alright, so that seems to be kind of full now in the header tank, so I'm going to run it with the cap off. I've also got a new cap for it. If anybody knows if this is wrong, let me know, but yeah, it's all I could get. And it seems to have the rubber gasket, whereas this one doesn't. But yeah, I'm going to start it up, see how we go on. All looking nice and dry down there. Pretty chuffed with that. Might need to tighten that pulley up a little bit more. I'm trying to get this up to temperature in the street. It's a bit antisocial really, but yeah, it does take a while to get warm, this car. Well, until recently anyway, but maybe it's because it's been mainly water rather than antifreeze as well. But if not, I'll you know, do this tomorrow, go for a little run in it. But yeah, I just want to give it a little bit of a run in the street, you know, before I go anywhere. Make sure it's not leaking water everywhere. Okay, so it's been running now for about 10 minutes. All looks pretty good. Can't really see it yourselves, but that's on. There's the old cap. Let's turn it off. Nice and warm in here. Temp gauge is all good. I think that's us done for today. Alright, so first proper drive out. It's not got up to temperature yet, so I'm sure it'll be fine, but you know, keep an eye on it. Alright, just a quick look. No leaks so far, so yeah, on to the next place and let's see what happens.
Make the most of it. And with code
5,000 guaranteed daily prizes. Opt-in required. Offer runs March 24th to June 15th. Minimum better is £70,000. You can't win.
So just thought I'd pop down to Ford and ask them a question about my new radiator cap. Just see if they're the same as the one that's come off it. So the one doesn't have a pressure thing on it. So see what he says. Alright, so I'm back home and it seems all good. It's hanging out around there now. It seems a lot cooler. So yeah, if this video was good, give us a thumbs up, and if it helped you, nice one. Alright, see you on the next.